Hi, I'm Pawel. I'm member of Inicjatywa Pracownicza Workers Initiative Union, which organizes around 6,000 people in Poland.
Okay, thanks, Pawel. Thanks for the interview. First of all, I want to ask you, how do you analyze the war in Ukraine?
Yes, so for us in Poland, it's obvious that Ukraine became a terrain of conflict between two imperialist forces. One so-called West, or more specifically United States, and second Russian Imperium.
Okay, and then I want to ask you, how do you live it directly in Poland?
Yeah, the situation in Ukraine affects Poland very much. This is because before the war we had already 2 million people from Ukraine living and working in Poland. Poland, because of its past, because of the historical context, is a major destination point for the migrants from post-Soviet states like Ukraine, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Kazakhstan. Ukrainians are the biggest community of this migration, and before the war there were already 2 million people living and working. This is a significant number. The whole population of Poland is 48 million. So, for example, and of course, they take the jobs that Poles don't want to do. So, like construction site, 40% of the workforce at the construction site is Ukrainian. Cleaning service, care of elderly and disabled people. So, very important jobs, but not valued properly, paid less, and also very often done informally without any contracts and protections. So, as the Inicjatywa Pracownicza Union, we are aware of the situation of Ukrainians in Poland. We are aware that they are subjected to a lot of exploitation. We know that they earn less than Polish average monthly wage. We know that they work on very precarious conditions. We know that language barrier and bureaucracy of the state is a huge problem with legalization of their status and so on. And now, after the war in Ukraine started in February 24th, according to official United Nations data, already 5 million Ukrainians left the country, fleeing the war from different regions of Ukraine. Out of these 5 million people, 2.7 million people went to Poland. Because Poland is the biggest country in the biggest neighbor to Ukraine. It's also like growing economy, joined European Union in 2004. So it's plus there was already 2 million people living, so they have families here, they connect here, and so on. So to give you like a image, like the city where I'm from, Warsaw, which is the capital of Poland, the population of Warsaw increased by 10% since February 24.
Okay, and about this Ukrainian community, which is your specific work with them?
Yes, so we began working with Ukrainian workers last year already. In spring 2021, we organized the protests of crane operators and crane operators working on the construction sites in Warsaw. And between the workers we organized, there were already like a lot of Ukrainians. So we started looking for contacts via them. We started looking for contacts with Ukrainian unions in construction industry. and we got in touch with the crane operators union in Lviv and Kiev. So while we were making the protests, we started the dialogue with the Ukrainian union, construction unions. We received the letter of solidarity from them. We sent solidarity letters to them. It was spring. Then in autumn last year, we were able to establish a structure in the care work. This structure is called Domestic Workers Committee, and it consists only of Ukrainian women working in a care sector, taking care of elderly people, disabled people, and children. Because it is mostly Ukrainian women that do this important job in Poland. They do this through temporary job agencies, short contracts or no contracts at all. So yeah, this is very important for us to support them, give them the union tools for their struggle. After February 24th, we contacted the unions, the crane operator unions and the social movement organization, Socjalny Ruch, asking how can we help the Ukrainian workers and refugees. We conducted 2 interviews with the union organizers in Ukraine, in Lviv and Kiev. We translated them into English and sent to the world, published on the International Labour Network of Solidarity and Struggles website. And they told us that, of course, they need humanitarian aid. They need like basic products like food, medicaments, and technical support. But they also asked us, and this was a very important message for our union, to help the new migrants coming after February 24th to find stable working conditions, to help them to avoid exploitation and protect their working rights. So based on this message, we started the working group within our union. We call it Migrant Group of Inicjatywa Pracownicza. It has its own email address. We have a phone number, and we translated all our basic brochures about the labor codes and unions in Poland, union regulations in Poland. We translated them into to Ukrainian and Russian, and we are distributing them in the refugee reception points all around Poland. So we want to engage and work with workers coming after February 24th too. We want to give them the basic and necessary information about the labor market in Poland, about how to organize in a union, to give them like the phone number that they know they can call if they need a legal intervention or union or like some direct action intervention, and we can support them. The info line is the person who's having this phone number is a Ukrainian woman from this domestic workers committee.
Okay, thanks for this information and for all this. I don't know if to finish this interview, what about the campaigns of solidarity within Ukraine?
Yes, so after establishing the working migrant group and translating all the materials into Ukrainian and Russian, we of course continued the dialogue with our partners from social movement and in Ukraine. They put us in contact with the Independent Miners Union of Kryvyi Rih. This is a city in central Ukraine, close to the front line, and also a place where a lot of internal refugees from cities of Kharkiv, Kherson or Mariupol are coming, and there are like 7 million internal refugees in Ukraine because like people's houses were destroyed and they don't have anywhere to live, so they come mostly to central Ukraine and look for shelter. So we contacted via social movement, we contacted the Independent Miners Union and asked what are their basic needs at the moment. They send us the list of needs, which composes of medical aid, of technical support like clothes, sleeping bags, blankets, etc., shoes, chainsaws to clean after the bombing and stuff, and food, especially baby food, because all the